Hi, my name is Samantha, and one thing you should know about me is that I make my interests very clear. One of the best compliments I have ever received was from a friend who said, "My favorite thing about you is that you don't just like anything, you love it." And the area of my life where I feel like that is the most obvious is my interests, especially when it comes to musical theater, and especially, you can probably tell by the title of this video, when it comes to The Outsiders. Now, the musical The Outsiders is no stranger to online buzz, with a fan base that definitely rivals the Newsies fan base, but in the modern digital age. But if you've been following me for a while, you've definitely seen me post about loving this show. Now, I have had such an incredible, pinch me history with this show over this last year. So I thought it was probably finally time for me to sit down and explain to you why I post so much about The Outsiders. Now, this isn't just because I sincerely love the show. This is because this show has played such a massive role in the confidence that I've built in myself, in my career, over this last year in so many ways, and I can't wait to tell you all about them. So, this all started for me September 2024. I went and I saw The Outsiders for the first time. Now, when I was in LA, I was telling one of my friends that I was going to see The Outsiders, and he asked me, "Well, when are you seeing the show? Because my friend might be on for Ponyboy if you're seeing him on a certain date." And I was like, "Well, I am seeing a Thursday matinee." And he was like, "Oh my God, you're going to see my friend Josh Strobel go on for Ponyboy. If you see him at the stage door, please say hi." I am no stranger to a stage door. I am not above a stage door experience. I think the stage door can be a great thing if done respectfully. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll go stage door. So I go and I see the show. And I hate to admit, at this point in time, I had not seen the movie, I had not read the book. So I kind of just loosely knew what it was about. I was like, socias, greasers. Yeah, like I get it, right? But I was not prepared to absolutely fall in love with it, in all sincerity. I knew it had a lot of online buzz, and I had seen like the Tony performance clips, I'd seen the Good Morning America clips, and I was like, this does look like it could be pretty good, but I didn't know if it was just online buzz that was making me feel that way. I can confidently say after my first show, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be my next hyperfixation. I was right. I was right. I absolutely fell in love with it. It is one of my favorite shows for the reason of how it combines choreography with lighting design. I could talk about the show and why I love it actually for a while, but funnily enough, that's not really what this video is about. You'll see. So I fall in love with the show, right? September. I go to the stage door because I'm like, I want a stage door. I just fell in love with the show. I want to get my little playbill signed, and I want to tell everyone, like, hey, great job. Loved it. So I'm at the stage door. And I have to be honest, I don't like preparing the line of, oh, my friend, back in LA, or my friend told me to tell you to say hi. Because as someone who has an online fan base and who's been recognized in public before, sometimes I've received some of those and I don't know who the person is and I don't know what they're talking about and it's a little awkward. So I myself get a little nervous when I'm like, okay, I have a connection here and I'm like, okay, I need to just say it. I need to say it. So I stage door and everyone is so nice and so lovely and I'm waiting for Josh, right? So Josh comes down the line and I'm preparing my little my friend in LA and da 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 da. And my playbill's out in front of him and he looks up at me and I'm sure I started talking. I was probably nervous. I'm sure I was just starting to say like, "Oh, you did such a great job," or whatever. And he looks at me and he goes, "Wait, I know you." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "You're Sam, right?" And I, thinking about this story, okay, spoiler alert, Josh Strobel is one of the nicest people ever. Can confirm. He is not only so talented, he's just incredibly kind. He's just a really nice guy. Annoying, right? In this moment, though, telling the story, it always makes me feel giddy because I think about how 12-year-old Sam would have felt in this moment. I was at the stage door of a show that I just fell in love with, one of the buzziest Broadway shows right now. I just got recognized by Ponyboy. Like that for like little me, I was like pissing myself. And I know, everyone's just people and whatever, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm talking to theater fans right now. Like, you get it. And so we yap for a second. He's explaining that he recognized me from the theater content that I had done online. And I'm just like buzzing. I'm like, well, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. So that alone, that experience alone, would have been enough just for me to fall in love with the show and be like, I love The Outsiders. But it doesn't stop there. It really doesn't. It only gets crazier. Now that I had fallen in love with the show, I was like, let me explore more. Like, let me learn more. And so through looking into Soda Pop, Jason Schmidt, I was like, oh, he makes his own music. That's really cool. And started listening to some of it. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's a vibe. And I saw that not only did Jason, make his own music, I was like, oh, he's also doing shows. Oh, he's doing a show at the Hotel Cafe in Los Angeles. Now, this found me in a very specific season. This was in December of last year. And I had all of these urges to get into interviewing and hosting more. That was like something I was seeing a lot on social media. And I've been told for years and years and years that I should interview people, that I should be a little red carpet correspondent, that like, why am I not doing X, Y, Z? And I was in a very specific era of talking to a lot of friends and starting to interview my friends. But I was like, this is one of those situations where I need to ask for what I want. This is going to be a theme here, folks. And again, circling back to how The Outsiders has helped me build confidence in my career, in my skill set. So I see that Jason has a show at the Hotel Cafe, and I think I should reach out and I should ask to interview him because he's trying to promote his music. And I have a big online audience that is, yes, consisting of musical theater fans who probably already know him, but they maybe don't know that he makes his own music. And then I have this like other, High Five Studios or just like other section of fans online as well. I muster up the courage and I email his music manager and I say, hey, da, 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 da. I like pitch myself and I'm like, I would only need 15 minutes of his time. Here's my pitch. Can I please interview him? I sent that email shaking, which is so funny because objectively, like looking at my account and everything, you would think that this would be just like a yes. Of like, oh, this girl's pitching herself as an interviewer. She has this audience online. Like, why wouldn't we say yes to this? Right. But imposter syndrome is crazy. These are the situations where the obvious advice is the worst they can say is no. But that advice doesn't really work for people like me who can think of objectively worse things that they can say than no. I'm like, they can actually say a lot more than no, but okay. But still, I muster up the courage. I reach out and they say yes.
Hi.
It's a Nook.
Hello,
Hi,
Nook.
Jason.
Hi,
How are
you?
you?
I'm good.
Now, fast forward to February 2025. I am now like Outsiders ride or die. I'm just like, this is my show. I'm back in New York City. I need to go see my boys. I actually cannot explain how crazy this next story is. And I won't because there's a lot of private details here. But I'm sitting and I like splurged on some nice little orchestra tickets. This is when Sky was giving me all the eye contact during, the opening of the show and we were doing a little staring contest and I was literally like, I don't know what to do with myself. I think I've told that story online before, but I splurged on some tickets because I was like, treat yourself. It's fine. Before the show starts, I'm opening the playbill and I see that the role of Two-Bit will be played by none other than Henry. If you're a fan of the show, you probably know that he's the fight captain. He's also a swing for the show. I know Henry through a very different set of circumstances. And I opened up the playbill and like saw him and I was like, oh my God, I had no clue he was a part of this show. Like, I don't know how I missed this, but for some context, I met Henry in Chicago. He was in a little production of West Side Story in Chicago that I went to go see. So like XYZ, small world, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, I haven't seen him since Chicago. I don't know what context we do or don't know about each other's lives. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Like, I met him technically through my ex, and I was like, I don't know if he knows about like the breakup and everything. Like, I just don't. But I pushed past any insecurity in my brain that was like telling me to not DM him. And I was like, screw it. I'm here. I'm seeing the show. I know this guy. Let me tell him that I'm here. So I DM him before the show. Oh my God, Henry, like crazy odds. I'm here. Like, I'm so excited that I get to catch you in this moment, that I get to see you as 2-bit. Like, how incredible. Can't wait to cheer for you, right? I think this was the show. I'm trying to remember. Okay. Yeah. The first time I saw the show, I saw Josh as Ponyboy. Second time, this time in February, I saw Trevor as Ponyboy. And then, of course, Henry as 2-bit. So I'm sitting there enjoying the show, having the time of my life. So bows happen. And then Henry looks at me and goes, and I'm like, one thing about me, let me bring you in here for a second. Samantha is a fangirl at heart. So no matter, even people that I know very, very well, if I'm sitting in an audience and they are on a stage, if they look at me, I'm like, oh my God, that character is looking at me. I'm not like, wow, that's my friend. When I meet characters at Disneyland, I'm like, that's Ariel. Oh my God, Ariel just waved at me. It's called joy. Look it up. It's called childlike wonder. It's called having a spark in your eye. So I believe in the magic of it all. So in that moment, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh yeah, that's Henry. So the show ends and he is kind enough to take me backstage and to give me a tour. So that was crazy. That was fun. So all of a sudden, I am now backstage at The Outsiders, reconnecting with a friend, making new ones, and being recognized at the stage door while Ponyboy is still out there signing playbills. That was crazy. I will actually never forget that experience. We were leaving, and Henry was like, well, let's just go through the stage door. Like, there's not that many people out there, I'm sure. And again, I went from being recognized by Ponyboy at the stage door to then exiting through the stage door. And the second I like pushed open the doors, there were these very sweet girls that were like, Sam, oh my gosh, like, can we take a picture? As like Trevor was still out there signing playbills as Ponyboy. Like, I was like, this is another moment for me to just zoom out and be like, what the hell is happening? Fast forward again to June of this year. Y'all, this is where a really big theme comes into play. Okay. The Jason interview, that was a big moment of like asking for what you want, right? This next theme, you've seen me post about it, but oh my God, I'm just gonna say it's only cringy until it works. Believe me, by June, I was like, does anyone think it's weird how much I'm posting about The Outsiders? And like, should I really care if they do think it's weird? Because I love the show and I now have friends who are in the show and all of this feels like authentic joy to me. So like, is there any reason I shouldn't be posting about it? Like, no, probably not. But again, the fear of what people think, whatever. It's only cringy until it works because guess what? One of the times I went out and I saw the show, when was this? This wasn't February. This was insert date and time here. I got coffee with Josh before and we were talking about content and I was really talking about, I guess, yeah, kind of this insecurity about, asking people to interview them and like, what does that do? And he was like, Sam, don't be silly. Like, it only benefits everyone. Just keep doing it. Just do it. And I was like, cool. Thanks, Josh. And so then I went and I saw the show and I had this idea of interviewing fans at the stage door after the show. Because I was like, this show has so much buzz around it. The fan base is really like intense, positive, negative sometimes, but generally that's a positive thing. And I should interview the fans at the stage door. Like, I should, the actors can do whatever they want, but like, I should interview the fans. So I muster up the courage. I'm by myself and I just go out there with like little tiny mics, the ones that are actually like in here. And I interview the fans at the stage door. I post that video. Believe me, I was like, oh my gosh, is this cringy? Is this cringy? I don't know, but I'm trusting it's good content. Like, I believed in it as good content. Fast forward June. The Outsiders reached out to me and said, hey, we saw the video that you did interviewing fans at the stage door. Can we pay you to do that again for us? The Outsiders asked me to interview the fans and the actors at the stage door. They gave me tickets to see the show and paid me. I got to bring my middle school bestie to The Outsiders. My middle school bestie Ava is really responsible for like the way that I am because she introduced me to Phantom of the Opera, Pride and Prejudice, Wicked, musical theater in general. It's all her fault. Everyone blame and thank Ava. Now, again, my joy caused by The Outsiders could have ended there and it would have been enough, but it just keeps going. You might be like, wow, Samantha, that's a really pretty room that you're in. And is that a picture from The Outsiders, the musical? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Actually, I was probably blocking that for most of this, so you maybe didn't even see that. I am currently staying in the Stay Gold Suite at the Chatwall Hotel. That's where I'm reporting from because the Chatwall Hotel has an Outsiders themed suite called the Stay Gold Suite, and they had posted about it on their Instagram. And I, going back to the theme of asking for what you want, slid up on that story. And I said, let me in. I'm not kidding. That's what I said. I actually said to this brand, to this hotel, I said, let me in. I would like to be a little bit more professional than that, but guess what? It worked. I am now here. I stayed here last night. I've been here all day. I get to stay here another night. And I'm making content for the hotel and for the suite, obviously. But it's all because I asked. And it doesn't stop there. Because right now I'm in New York for about a month. One of the reasons being I knew I had this stay, but also I'm now an affiliate for BroadwayCon that's coming up in January. So also let this be a little plug for BroadwayCon. This is going to be my first year going. I'm an ambassador for them, which means you can use my code Samantha15 for 15% off of your tickets. Look into the general day passes. I know buying tickets for the whole thing can seem a little intimidating, but they offer day passes. I'm going to be there. So we can like meet and say hi and yap about musical theater. But continuing on the theme of asking for what you want and just like my invisible string with The Outsiders, BroadwayCon has a lot of events leading up to the actual convention in January to try and promote it. They sent out a newsletter to their affiliates, one listing that they were doing October 28th, The Outsiders X BroadwayCon Talk Back. I saw that email and I was like, that's something I should be a part of. Again, growing in my confidence with what I can offer as not only an internet personality and content creator, but as a host, as an interviewer. I was like, Outsiders Talk Back with Broadway. I should be involved. I emailed them on a Saturday. I was like, they're probably not even going to see this, but something in me was just like, reach out, reach out, reach out. Just say that you want to be involved. I was like, I'm sure that they already have someone hosting the actual talkback, or that'll be run by someone from the lovely cast. I was like, I don't know. But I just need to like say that that piqued my interest. So I emailed them and I said, hey, that October 28th Outsiders BroadwayCon thing, definitely I'm intrigued by that. I would love to collaborate with you on that, be involved in that in kind of any way, shape, and form. Like I've collaborated with the show, my audience loves that show. Just throwing that out there. My homegirl Emily responded immediately and was like, wow, you have perfect timing. Music to my ears. Literally, my intuition was like, oh, thank God you listened to me, Samantha. Because she was like, I was gonna ask our affiliates, I was gonna ask our little BroadwayCon ambassadors, like if anyone wanted to do an Instagram takeover for the BroadwayCon account for that event. So now I get to go see The Outsiders on the 28th. I get to bring my bestie Emma, who will be in town for her birthday. It's just too perfect. It's just too perfect. And I get to see the show and cover the talkback for BroadwayCon on their Instagram account. So if you can't make it to the Jacobs on the 28th, follow along on BroadwayCon's Instagram because I'll make it feel like you're there. So that's why I talk about The Outsiders so much, guys. Like, what a time, what a year to have with the show. I mean, it's October now, so it's been a full year since I saw the show for the first time. And I have learned so much through loving this show. Like, it's not just that I actually love the show. And yes, I would see this show hundreds of times. Like, I understand why people have seen it so many times, because not only is it a great show in such a moving story, the cast is amazing and it is filled with amazing understudies too. Like, I have seen so many different versions of the show and have genuinely enjoyed myself and loved it each time. Each performer does bring something different, and so it makes it exciting when there's an understudy on. I just have a lot of care for the people that I know that are in the show, and I have a lot of care for the show in general. So much of this has just been so helpful for my own internal journey and sense of self over this last year. Sincerely, like, that is not an overstatement. And the themes that I really want to drive home to you: ask for what you want. That is such a big one. Ask for what you want. I am so glad that I emailed Jason's music manager. And also, Jason, if you're watching this, hi, and thank you again so much for that interview. This is all of my internal thoughts and workings about it. So, hope you enjoyed. I was nervous as hell. Ask for what you want. I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I did that with this hotel. Like, just, oh my God, ask for what you want. It's only cringy until it works. Please, please, please post the content that you want to post. Do not concern yourself with what other people will think about it, because funnily enough, I was not very concerned about what strangers would think about it. I had very specific characters in my brain that I was like, oh, I wonder if this person, like, that I loosely know will think that this is cringy, or like, oh, like, what if this person sees it, or like, is that weird? Like, guess what? Who cares? Who cares? It's all worked out for me. Who cares? Also, no one knows what they're doing until they're doing it. Hi, it's me. That's me. That's me. I just started to ask if I could interview people because I knew that I would be good at it. Like, I did already kind of have that built up in me. I was like, I know I'm comfortable being on camera. I really take a lot of pride in my ability to be authentic and show my interests and everything. And so I was like, I know I'd be good at this, but I just started doing it. If you want to be an interviewer, just start calling yourself an interviewer. If you want to be an artist, just start calling yourself an artist. If you want to be a writer, start calling yourself a writer. Live as if. Live as if you already are. And finally, I think I'm going to say authentic joy won't lead you astray. God, I kind of hate that that rhymed because that felt intentional. But people can tell. Lean into, choose the path that brings you authentic joy, and you'll be okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for enabling my joy online. You are the reason I get to do what I do. So thank you so much. Shout out to the outsiders. I cannot recommend it enough. Thank you so much to anyone involved with the show that has ever, extended a hand to help me along my own journey from this last year. I really appreciate that. Let's keep it up. I guess for now, the October 28th talkback will be the next chapter in this story and in this journey with this show. But if anything, this video, I think, serves as proof that you never know what's coming in the future. So can't wait to see what happens next. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye. Why did I wave like that? That felt weird. Bye. And I'm just going to stop now.